another tasty episode of Foodies and Friends on Fox 26 and Fox Local. We had so much fun talking with Chris Shepard. We had to do another episode. On to part two with Chris Shepard.
Part two.
So now we mentioned we're here at Dandelion. We're enjoying the Dandelion chicken and waffles. JC Ricks is a friend of yours, somebody that worked with you.
Yep.
And you kind of took under your wing a little bit and helped out. And now he and his wife, Sarah, are the owners. There are 3 locations of Dandelion. They've expanded. Has to make you feel really proud to see their success. I hear people talking about them all the time, just in my own social circles. And so I had a really great breakfast or a lunch at Dandelion.
Well, it's amazing to see, and it's like, I am very excited when I see somebody that I hate to see our cooks and our staff leave. But if they're leaving to go do their own thing, to build their thing, man, I'm so happy for it. I've had the pleasure of that happening a lot of times, and now it's like.
Well, because you are the figure, you are kind of the Papa Bear. You're the one that kind of helps and pushes the chicks out the door, so to speak, and encourages them. I know you do. I know you do, and you don't talk about it. All right. Sarah and JC are here today.
Yeah.
They're in the kitchen. Why don't we go talk to them and just see how they're doing? Oh, they're right here. They're right here.
I would love it.
JC is right here. You want to have we'll get you
a squat.
We can get you a chair.
I'm good.
Why don't we get him a chair here? Yeah.
All right, I'll fit it.
All right, yeah.
You need to control them.
We'll edit this. Don't worry, guys.
Awesome. How is everything?
Everything is amazing. Are we going to maybe sit here? Are we going to go in there? We're going to sit here. We're going to stay here. All right, so we'll stay here. We'll stay here. JC's joining us for brekkie.
So
how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Chris wants to eat the chicken. I let him take a bite, and he's like, "This is so good, Katie. Shut up."
It's really good.
Awesome. Glad you're enjoying it.
It's really good.
Thank you.
I'm so glad for you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. We were just talking about you, and we're talking about Southern Smoke and the support that it provides the restaurant industry. This is kind of a bumpy time. It's a little bit of a turbulent time in not only in Houston, but just nationwide. What are some of the issues that you guys are facing right now, in addition to the $1 per egg cost?
Exactly. You can't really be.
We all know about that.
With the eggs, and so we've been fighting that, trying to figure out the best way to do it for us and as well as our customer, right?
You're starting to see a little relief on eggs. So,
a little bit, yeah. Some of my purveyors prices are going down here and there, but the more you read about it, the more you see that it's almost seems like it's inevitable to go back up again. Yeah. But besides that, I think we're facing. I don't think now is any different, but it's like finding really good staff, people that are as passionate about this industry that they used to be back when I first started. And then, just trying to stay competitive with these prices, trying to stay competitive when you have these big corporations, and we're a mom and pop spot that is, raised and born in Houston.
Sure.
And, love the community and love the city, and we're doing food that's scratch made.
Historic building, the historic clock tower and the height.
Like we have, and we're doing something real cool and something we're very passionate about, and trying to get our name out there and be part of the community and the neighborhood, let them know that we're here.
Yeah.
So things like that.
Now, when you see this beautiful creation and energy, what would be just kind of open advice that you would be giving to small business owners, restaurant owners right now to kind of keep going? There is hope. We hope there's going to be hope.
There's always hope, right? And things will change, and they're probably going to hurt a little bit before they do.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe this is the hurt. So I'm hoping for, right? And that we don't go into too much more hurt. Yeah. It's to stay in Doge and don't. Look, you guys have got a pretty good following, pretty good brand, like loyalty, and those things. It's like, it's honesty. It's literally about being honest. Because I'll never forget it. I mean, Hey Merchant back in the day, I was like, look, man, this is the cost of wings. What we were. This is the cost of wings where we're at. We're not going to do wings, and it's like, you can't do that with the egg dishes, right? It's just not impossible because people are like, no, it's right for eggs, right? But if there's a way to just communicate, like, hey, this is what these things are. This is exactly what we're paying, and this is exactly what we're charging. So people feel like it's not, because I think a lot of times when people start seeing that prices are going up, well, then everybody just takes advantage of that, right? But if you stay far to the course, like you're not going to take advantage of the situation. You're just going to cover what you need.
The diners notice.
And they do. And they like that open, like book mentality of like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
And you do that for the time being. And then when it starts to go back, man, you go back to where you're at. But like, you can't be the one, just like you said, the big corporations are still like, we'll just eat it. We've got how many billions in the bank, we'll just take it on. Your mom and pop restaurant, you in Sarah's place, like you can't do that. So you just have to be honest about it and be like, thank you for your patronage. Thank you for being so loyal to us. And we're going to be loyal to you by telling you this is our books. This is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not, if that egg's $1 and you need to get 3, you're not charging $1.75. You need to charge that 3 and be honest about why it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people will respect that a little bit more because, you hear avocados are going to go up. Now, some people are telling me like, oh, I saw a place with avocados for $9. And I'm like, already?
Yeah.
Like, are
Yeah,
they just like trying to get in front of the curve here? Like, what are we doing?
Right.
I mean, because I don't know. I don't buy avocados and I don't buy things like that. So, but like, I think that it will get better, but you just can't take the hits on it all. Because if you're going to cut it down to that $1.75 or $1.50, we all know how that works.
Yeah.
You're not going to be here long.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So people will weather the storm with you if you are very transparent. And I think that's how you're going to have, like, restaurants are going to have to get by. It's just like, this is what we're doing. Because we have to, because, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the mystique behind it that everybody thinks restaurants make so much money and, and they just don't.
Right.
Right. Everybody else asks you for everything under the sun, like not cover costs for you, but it's like, hold up, man. Like, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
No, definitely. That's great advice. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that is amazing advice.
We all have to get through it together. We just don't need to take advantage of the situation. And we also don't need to fail because of it. Like that's it can't be here and it can't be here. It has to be right here.
Yeah, meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just honesty. And I think that's where it has to come from.
And it makes sense, right? Because you're being honest with them. They know you're not lying because they feel it too in their own bank account. They feel it at the gas pump. They feel it, when they're buying milk or they're buying bread even.
And it will have to come back down at some point. We hope.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, if it doesn't, and if we are in for a little bit of tougher times, Southern Smoke is here. And that was some of the support that you guys benefited from, I think, a few years ago from Southern Smoke. How did that help you guys out at that time?
Oh, it was major for us. After Hurricane Beryl, the whole city was reeling. A lot of places closed, not able to
So
open.
this was more recent.
Yeah,
This was last
year.
summer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And our main thing was our employees, right? Them not being able to work, so them not being able to get a paycheck, and us not being able to be open, losing tons of product.
Of course. Yeah.
A lot of that, which insurance companies wouldn't cover. Even though we had the plans, it was just they were just beating around the bush and really, taking.
That was a really big problem that I heard about during that, right? You
Well,
probably heard a lot.
You really have to look at your policy, and yes, you are going to pay a higher price for it. But after 3 days it kicks in or something like that, it might kick in, but it still won't cover this or not this or that. And it's like,
they kind of pick and choose.
why are we doing this? And like you didn't know this coming into it because you thought, man, I'm covered. I got insurance.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden when it happens, you're like, wait,
How am I not covered?
you're telling me I'm not?
Yeah.
And so it's like you have to have, I always say that like when you're getting into a restaurant, you need to have really good friends that you believe in. And when I mean friends, your attorney to look at your lease, to look at all the things that you're doing, because everybody wants to spend money on plates and this and that, but in music, and it's like, how much do you have set aside for legal fees? And they're like,
An emergency.
none. I'm like, we have a friend. I'm like, no, don't have a friend. Have something. That your insurance person, right? So that you know how set you are, and then your bankers.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the 3 people that you really need to have tight connections with.
Yeah.
I double that. I second that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right? Because you find it out the hard way.
Exactly. You find it out the hard way, and knowing it pre-hand is like if I would have known this prior, I would have changed tons of things. So that's just solid advice right there. And then but yeah, our big thing was our staff, and trying to figure that out. And Sun Smoke Foundation chef came through and really gave us a huge donation to get us through those weeks. And then we opened back the doors. Of course, the community was back out in full force. But man, it was definitely a tough time and a rough time. And,
And I think too, just a side benefit from your efforts that a lot of people don't talk about is you're bringing such awareness to the multiple issues that are facing where, you mentioned being honest and being transparent. Well, a lot of these issues, people just may have not known were issues because maybe they've never worked in hospitality or they haven't known anybody who's worked in hospitality.
As a consumer, right? And as somebody that goes out to restaurants a lot, like you have your staff that you always go sit down. When I say your staff, when you go out on a Tuesday night to X restaurant and this person always takes care of you and you see these bussers and you see this host and you see these cooks, and after you go there a few times, you just kind of like family, you kind of get to know people. And you can literally see as a consumer, right, when something's not right with somebody. Mm-hmm. And it's two simple words. And it's, you good? And it gives somebody, it takes them back for a second, but they're like, actually, there's some stuff going on. And it's like, okay, well, here's southernsmoke.org. Yeah. These are the people, go talk to them. Because I'm not qualified to hear what you're about to tell me, but they can handle it, whether it be financially or through mental health care, either way. And so it's something that I preach to a lot of people because it's like, just with this event that we did the other day, and at festival, I tell people the same. It's like, you are now a spokesman for this organization because you go out to eat. You understand the places that you're going, the people that are there, because they take care of you all the time. Mm-hmm. They spend their lives taking care of us. Who takes care of them? Yeah. And that's the biggest question. And it's in turn, it's not just like giving them extra $10 and extra $20, but it's giving them, hey man, talk to this guy. Just write it down on a piece of paper.
Giving them a tool.
But yeah, it's a tool.
Right. Y'all are running together with Sarah, right? Your wife, and you have three locations now. So Bel Air,
which is our flagship, opened around 8 years ago. Yep. Rice University campus. We're on campus at Rice University. Yep. Dandelion Cafe on the go. A little different of concept, but we're still, we've got our chicken and waffles over there, but it's more lunchy.
We do a lot of catering out of there, though.
And we do exactly. Thank you for bringing that. We do a lot of catering.
Is that a bigger kitchen or is that?
No, it's a smaller kitchen, but because we're on campus and it's just a lot of admins, student events, things like that we cater. But we also cater not only to the campus, we cater all over the city.
But you're set up for it because of that space. I mean,
exactly.
That when someone can call and be like, in Montrose and be like, I need lunch for 50.
Yeah, I got you. We got it. We definitely got it. You just go on our website, dandelion.houston.com, or email us at catering@dandelion.houston.com. And then this third location, our newest 6 months old, the baby of the group, Heights, beautiful Heights location.
I love it. Yeah.
And this is our largest space, and it's kind of a culmination of the years, kind of figuring out like as a concept, as a brand, what we wanted to be and what we do. And I think this kind of just is that for us. And
I love how you're kind of watching because you've watched them from start, not to finish, but from start. And so now you've watched them go from restaurant number 1, restaurant number 2, restaurant number 3, expanding into catering, expanding into this.
And not only that, I used to work for them.
That's right. Yeah.
Back before we started this with me and Sarah. So he's been there before the journey was even up and going.
Yeah,
us.
But exactly like what's going on in his mind right now because of what stage he is in his expansion.
Yeah, just after Barrel, you had 1, and now we're almost a year.
Only a year.
There's 3, but I think the smart thing is that what you did with that Rice was be able to turn that into a catering aspect and like be able to do the box lunches and box breakfast and the things. Yeah. And then when you came up here, this is a beautiful space. And the Heights, a lot of families, a lot of people, a lot of breakfast, and they just got to get to know you and will buy into you. And I think that's really what's going to be happening pretty quickly because it's every area, like Montrose is the same thing. Like people got to buy into it. Like, now what is that? They may have heard of it, but let's go check this out. And then once all it takes is somebody to come in to Dandelion to be like, yeah, I'm good. I
Try
found
the
my
fried
home.
chicken.
And that's what we're over for. We want to be part of this community. You know, every community we place a restaurant in, you know, we want to be part of it. And, you know, like in Bel Air, we've been there for however long we've been there, 7, 8 years. And, you know, there's people that come in 6 days a week, 5 days a week. And they're like, man, this is like a home away from home for me.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like
Well,
our stand.
we also named it Dandelion Cafe, which to me just says pure joy before I even walked in.
It's an amazing name.
Yeah, I mean, at first I was like, what? I was like, man, I feel happy right now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I feel happy coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel happy supporting here, and I feel happy when the food hits.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you kind of touched on this in a minute earlier,
Sure.
but people will walk away from an experience, right? And every meal is an experience, especially at this point, right? Where it's a chosen thing to go do. And the food may be great, service needs to be great, but the whole experience, because they're not going to remember what they ate. Let's say the fried chicken waffles, and they'd be like, fried chicken waffles, right?
They're going to remember.
And over and over, like they're going to come in and be like, man, I don't really remember. The coffee was good, the people were good, and the experience overall is what brings people back. And this is a great experience every time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chef.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's talk some upcoming events, because you guys have a lot of fun stuff coming up, namely your Southern Smoke Foundation event, right?
Festival coming up
Festival?
in October, October 4th. Discovery Green.
That is the home of the event.
Yeah, that's our forever home, hopefully.
Good.
We've taken over everything now. We're out on the street, we're everywhere. I'm just finishing the narrowing of 500 chefs to 65.
So are they applying to be a part of
We get a
the
lot of that,
festival?
but
Okay.
it's also
How does it
like
work? Yeah.
for me, it's like I need to eat your food. I need to know the human because at the end of the day, like if you come in and you cook with us but still don't understand what we're doing, then you're not being the voice for us when you leave,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we got, I don't know, 55, and then so I have a job at Food and Wine Magazine. I'm the editor and chef for Food and Wine, and so now I take care of all the best new chefs.
Okay.
And so when they get announced, September, October will be the first event that they all put together. And so I'm there to help mentor them throughout the year if they have questions, like concerns, like how do I help them get through their business better.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool. So that's 10 slots right there. But we'll see how it works out. My wife said it could be 80 this year. So
Yeah.
that's going to be massive. I'm like, no.
Well, that'll be great. It'll be something for diners to look forward to, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, just because, Lexus will have the VIP area. Yeti has their own culinary stage. We'll have music, and then all the chefs. But yeah, when you start thinking about it, you're like, how do I eat 80 plates of food? How do I eat?
You make
if it
lots
was
of
like,
friends, Chris.
even
That's
if it was
what.
like
You get your
one
friends to help
quarter
you.
and a quarter piece of chicken, 80 over.
Yeah.
Like there's no way. It's so much fun. And it's this year, we started it last year where we have wine bars from around the country come in and set up, and some of those all have restaurants as well, and so they'll be cooking. We have them from Charleston and New Orleans. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be fun. Then we have bartenders from around the country come in and set up.
So it's
too.
really a pretty broad event. It's not just Houston culinary chefs, restaurants. It's a very wide range of,
Yes, it's there. I mean,
which is good because things grow and taste differently in other parts of the country, and you want to understand that from a root level too, from those operators, right?
It's a lot, but it's good. When tickets go on sale, I think it's generally like August, July or August. So VIP sells out so fast.
Okay, so if you want to do VIP, and what's the difference between VIP and general admission?
You get all of the Grove as your home as well. So we take over.
You take over the Grove.
We take over the Grove, and then there'll be because Lexus sponsors or partners on the Grove for VIP, and so they bring in their own chefs that they want. And so
Fancy.
Billy Durney from Red Hook Tavern, you can't get that burger anywhere, but he'll be upstairs cranking burgers out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
So I forget who else she has on the list.
So VIP, that's their little designated
Yeah,
area that they can hang
but
out.
there's bartenders, there's spin the wheels, there's all sorts of stuff in there. So
Yep.
it's like you get in earlier. The thing that we started doing last year also was, like when you see a golf tournament and people are sponsoring the hole, you sponsor a chef. And so it helps us bring more costs down so that we put more money back into the industry's pocket. So we did really well with that last year, where people could sponsor a chef and they end up getting more access to. They get to come to the welcome party.
Mhm.
They get in way before VIP gets in. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
If I was one of those chefs and if I knew I was potentially being sponsored, I'd be campaigning myself. Like I would want to win the top sponsorship amount.
Well, like whoever sponsored Aaron Franklin last year, he basically put up a table in the back and made a little restaurant for him. So you
Talk
also
about special.
skip the line.
Yeah, so that's a
even
big
with
one.
Franklin,
Yeah.
there's 300, 400 people that show up and they go straight to that line. And this team had their own table in the back. Franklin's put plates down. It was their birthday. He got a cake for him. We try and take care of everybody, not just the chefs, but take care of our guests too, and just make it a memorable experience. Because at the end of the day, you may not remember what you ate, probably not going to remember what you drank, but you remember the experience.
Yeah.
And that's what drives you back.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so the dates, do we know the dates at least?
October
for Southern
4th.
Smoke? Okay, so October 4th, so one day.
One day.
That's it. So
One
you
day.
only have one day. Make sure you guys put this on your calendar. If you're like me, I put calendar reminders to register for things when registration opens.
Just follow Southern Smoke on Instagram or southernsmoke.org, and we'll tell you all the dates when things are getting released and give you a countdown for it. And it literally, like, VIP sells out in about 14 hours.
Okay,
So-
good to know. And then do y'all have
And
any?
mind you, there's 4,000 tickets available.
Yeah.
So
That's fast.
go pretty quick.
Any other special events before Southern Smoke coming up? Yeah.
May, I think it's 12th? No, 10th. May 10th, it's Saturday. We have a dinner called Respect the Rosé,
Oh, yes. I've heard about
which
this
we've
one.
been doing.
Yeah.
This might be the last year, but it's at Brennan's of Houston. We take over the upstairs, and it's myself, Ryan Pruitt from Petch in New Orleans, Stephen Struzinski from Cochon in New Orleans, and then Michael Hudman and Aiden Heister from Memphis. They have like 5 restaurants there, and we basically just throw a little party, bunch of wine. This year's theme is Under the Water 80s Prom.
Oh, I've got the hair for that, you guys.
And so, last year was Run for the Rosés, and everybody came in jockey attire. And the year before that was James Bond Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
So you could wear your swim trunks or you could wear a tuxedo. And then the year before, one before that was 80s hair metal. And so it was a lot of spandex.
No.
But we expect our audience to really get into that. So again, we'll start promoting that here pretty quickly. It's just one night party.
Yeah. How many tickets are available for that?
About 200.
Okay. So not a huge
Not a
event,
huge-
limited
no,
supply.
This one's like just for fun.
So yeah, Respect the Rosé, sometime middle of May. Well, you're truly doing amazing game-changing things for the industry, not only here in Houston. I'm sure you can appreciate maybe having friends in other cities that don't have access to these incredible programs, but they do because they can contact them and they can get in touch for some help. Southernsmoke.org is the website. Make sure you guys also check out their Instagram. That's where you stay up to date. I love your social. It's so great because it highlights so many incredible stories here in Houston. Really, really good, inspiring. Maybe places you didn't know, people you didn't know. The stories are really what brings me to a restaurant. And I think you guys are the same way. Oh man, this has been so fun.
Yeah.
This has been really fun. We went super over, but that's okay.
It's not even in yet.
Not even noon. They're busy here. All right, y'all. That does it for us. Make sure you check out all of the episodes of Foodies and Friends on Fox Local and Fox 26. Give us a follow on Instagram. Give these guys a follow too. These are certainly Houston superstars that you want to keep up with. Get out here and try this fried chicken and get out there and see this guy in October for Southern Smoke when they are raising millions of dollars for the restaurant hospitality industry nationwide. just very inspiring, super inspiring, and congratulations on all of your success as well.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, see you next time for another episode of Foodies and Friends.